Yes, I'm calling about it. Y'all ain't let that young lady been on the air since she been talking. Nobody's letting her get a word in. And I know those brothers up there that be down there on Third Avenue preaching. If you want somebody to go to your church, you need to respect the sisters that's going to be on the show. See, people run from the church because people badmouth what women wear. If we want to wear pants, God said, come as you are. Y'all have to respect what we wear. We come in to serve the Lord. We not down there to try to meet anybody. We here to serve the Lord. That's why I'm a kind of person, I don't go to church myself because God said, come as you are. If she wears pants, so what? She don't have to be a bad word because she got on a pair of pants. Whatever the scripture in the Bible, I understand your belief. Everybody got their own belief. Men need to learn how to respect women. That's all I have to say. And give that woman a chance on that stage up there. Respect that woman up there. If you like somebody in your show, learn how to respect that lady up there. Let her get her word in too.
Thank you, Cole. I appreciate that.
Okay.
But go ahead.
They say that many will be called, but few will be chosen. Of course, you brothers are versed in the Bible. They talk about the 144,000.
Yes.
At the end of the day, they also talk about the tabernacle, that those that will be inside. So again, I respect you teaching. I respect you trying to take the knowledge that you have and convey it to other people. Then it's on them. When they say, you know what, I accept what you're doing, I'm trying to live that way, then that's when you take them through those steps of what is expected of them through the scriptures. I look at it like this, as you basically said, that we are living in America. America is against, quote unquote, righteousness in the sense of that Bible. They're into the capitalist thing. But at the end of the day, I look at it from the perspective, and that's just in a way I respect her opinion, what she says, because at the end of the day, we as men do not judge. That's all on the Almighty. We don't judge. We try to judge, but all we can do is follow those laws. But when that day comes, that day of standing, we have to stand there and answer for our own sins. Is that correct?
But now, we're going to come back to your question. We're going to come back to that sister that came in. But let's take this call real quick. Caller, you on the air. What's on your mind? I'm going to pull it back. Okay, gentlemen? Caller, you on the air.
Hi, GS. Good evening, brothers.
Good evening.
Sister, God bless you all. Yeah, I wanted to say to these brothers, you know what? In the Bible, like the brother they called earlier about women wearing pants, it's true. It's no such thing as pants in the Bible. So, like the brothers say, Jesus and Moses and Adam did not wear pants. So I would see that that's a sin. What the sin is, if you don't follow the commandments, and that is love your brothers yourself. Okay, one is. And two, the way the sister's dressed up, you might put the camera on.
Okay.
Can you please? Are you
all right. All right.
Can you stand up, sister? Can you stand up, sister?
All right.
Can you stand up?
She's standing up.
You see, that's appropriate. You see, she's covering herself. Okay, and I believe that when God said you should not dress like women should not dress like men, it means acting like a man.
Well,
okay.
Call you.
One, and another thing, I have another scripture which I want to get Galatians chapter 2, verse 19 to 21. Read that, but I also wanted to say the rounding your hair is also against God. If a woman wears a pants, it's a fact. So if it's a man that shaves the head and trims his mustache, so that's a sin too. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying?
But now you're jumping all over the place. But we're gonna pull it back to the sister that called earlier, saying that you can come as you are. Yeah. Well, now, and where is that in the Bible? Please,
there's nowhere in the Bible that it says you can come as you are. That's Christianity. The Bible, when you read the Bible is only dealing with the Israelites. Let's make that clear for our viewers, our callers, whoever's listening. The Bible was given to the Israelites by Moses. When you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1, read that real quick. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. Okay, this is going to be brief. We're not going to stay on this long. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. I'm going to address everybody's question if y'all just be patient with me. Deuteronomy, she made a lot of good points. Go ahead.
28 verse 1.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 1.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
To hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God means to follow the instruction God gives. Read on.
And to do all his commandments.
To do what?
do all his
This
commandments.
is the first time God was addressing us as a people. He said, do all his commandments. Read on.
I command thee this day.
Read on.
The Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations
So
of the earth.
when God was speaking to the Israelites, it was to put them where America is today. The leaders who are ruling today are not ruling based on God wanting it to happen. Okay, the Bible says that if the Israelites follow the commandments, they will be put on high above all nations of the earth. Because y'all keep bringing out, why are we sticking to the laws? It was old. Why are you doing this? And Malachi brought out, the Lord don't change. Ain't nothing changed. Y'all change. Y'all putting your own opinion in because y'all don't read the Bible and y'all being taught the wrong way. So y'all coming with your emotions and your opinion while we reading scriptures.
And
Like
that's
what
why,
you said just now, I
I
just want to just compliment what they said. Because I'm not going to change it, but I like what you said because I get tired of hearing this, that when Jesus came, the Old Testament, he came. Jesus said, and you brothers tell me if I'm wrong, tell me to my face, and I will accept it. Jesus said, I came not to change the law, but to fulfill the laws. Am I correct?
Matthew 5:17. That's the first thing he said when he stepped on the scene. And you people are in church going, Jesus, 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 and y'all ain't listening to nothing he says. The law that he came to enforce was the laws that we're bringing out now. Y'all want to disregard them because y'all want to follow the nations. And that's where the judgment is going to come.
But I also want to say this to you, for team, as far as the issue of judging, let's get one thing clear. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 2 and 6:15, which tells you that he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judging no man. See, we come from a spiritual standpoint. What we're doing here is not being the judgment. When you read Matthew 7:1, where it says, "Judgment, you be not judged," when you read that entire chapter, it talks about self-righteous judgment.
Exactly.
See, all of us are here to correct one another. Now, the brother man said about the issue of rounding off the head. I know you're trying to get at me, but let me make one thing clear. I'm not wearing a baldy where I took a razor and I'm shaving off all the hair.
There's hair on his head. They just can't see it.
Exactly.
Okay?
So
That's
I
it.
know where he was trying to go with
Exactly.
that. Okay, but now you can be spiritual. We're all each one teach one. If you see me out of order, it's your job to come to me and pass judgment in the spirit of 2 Timothy 3:16, which said that all scripture is given for what? Instruction, reproof.
Reproof.
But
And
not.
I
But
agree with you.
my main issue is to avoid self-righteous judgment.
Right.
But now we want to make sure that Dymax gets us saved.
But you make you address me first, so let me
Because
respond.
I noticed, first of all, everybody got a mic except Dymax.
Yeah, no, you have your mic on.
got this kind of
But
mic.
I mean,
you got
I don't mind. I'm just saying,
that's the
address
man.
me on that one. I just want to really come back when you say,
I gotta keep it real. You know,
but I'll come
so
back
we
after
gonna
you,
talk
go
about
ahead.
the Bible. We gonna get real.
I'm just
I'm
saying,
gonna tell you, the woman on the show, her voice gonna be heard, but every man got a microphone, but I don't have one.
I do.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
have
We
a
gonna keep it
Okay, let's keep
real.
the energy
before
going.
we go to Paul, let's just go. Since you addressed me about the self-righteousness, it's very simple. What I'm saying is that yes, we can help, but when it comes to us judging a person, we don't know what's in their heart.
I got you.
We don't know what's in their mind.
Right.
And that's what it says. It's not about judging. And when you go back to the point, and I know you brothers can give it from scripture, but I'm just pulling out a point. When Jesus said, when they wanted to stone that woman, and Jesus came, and he said, let the first person cast the first stone,
He is without sin, cast the first
Exactly,
stone. You're 100%
So
right.
bear in mind,
Exactly.
bear in mind, a little above that one, look at what they were doing it in the manner of tempting him, not for the point of righteousness. That's why he came with them. See, bear in mind, when you read the book of Proverbs 1:1, it tells you the Bible is given for what? Discretion.
Right.
Which is discretion is the word for you using proper judgment.
And that's why I'm saying
So-
at the end of the day, when we are approaching people and we're teaching people, I believe in that and I applaud that. But at the end of the day, when we tend to judge, even if a brother or sister is smoking, all we can say is the Lord says not to do that. But for me to pass judgment on this and call them names, I am in the wrong.
So, gentlemen, how do you feel about Israelite groups that are out there cussing people out, using filthy communications? You know what they all are.
You see, this
We'll
is why
take care of
we
them.
gotta speak up. But is it on?
You'll never, ever find one video of any of us cursing. If anybody curses or uses words outside the Bible, we use the word whore because it's in the Bible. If they use profanity,
What is a whore?
they'll be pulled down.
What
All
is
right.
a whore? That's the part on my show we never addressed. I want
We did?
what
We did?
is a whore?
Okay.
What is a
I like
whore?
that question.
May I?
Mhm.
The universal definition of the word whore is any man or woman who solicits sex for for money. That is the universal definition of the word whore. Henceforth, you see all throughout this earth the spirit of. There's also whore on the spiritual sense. The Lord refers to Israel as being a whore when you chase after other gods and pursue other religious beliefs.
That's right.
Okay, so how does that equal if you wait a minute? Let me just if you wear pants that you're a whore? Because that's not either one of those descriptions you gave.
Yeah, as the brother just pulled, the Most High will refer to the entire nation of Israel as whores. They were committing acts of whoredom because they were going outside the laws that he gave to them to follow. Okay? The wearing of the pants, let's be clear. When a woman has on pants, the tighter they are, the more revealing they are. The woman that we see in our neighborhoods, I don't know where y'all live, y'all people online, you brother who allow your woman to have her butt out. But the reason why the men look at the woman with the pants on is because we want to see their behind. Before I knew this law, that's what I look for. The tightest jeans, the biggest booty. You see them exploiting our black women in videos. You see them targeting our women in the street and stopping them and treating them like whores. So I don't understand why we're still going around in circles on this topic. Y'all got to be real. If y'all going to call and complain, y'all got to be real about it.
And about the point. He said it according to Ezekiel 23, is what he's talking about. The Most High referred to Israel as whores for following the gods of the other nations and following their customs. I made a statement earlier that that custom was incorporated by the so-called white woman, and the black woman went and followed behind that movement. During that, you had the civil rights movement. The women left us and went and started fighting for their own rights, and they haven't been back since.
But can I?
Hold on. We probably 231 real quick. I'm not going to just speak this. Just real quick, because again,
this is not a balanced show.
No.
I'm gonna tell you that right now, and that's why I like my show, because there's a balance there. But go ahead.
Hold on. How about this? Before we go any further, you said it's not a balanced show, so have me say that. Have me say that.
That's head Dymax.
I want to know because we supposedly, most black people come from Africa. And there's a lot of African continents that have the black woman with no bra on, walking around, still holding her baby, breastfeeding, and the men gotta live with that. And it's not like here, we got some clothes on, and we still a whore. So how can you come from where you come from, and you don't even know where you come from because you're brought here, however you got here?
That's still unlawful. Okay, we're deviating from the point which
the point is custom. What I'm bringing up is custom.
Right. Yes.
They are naked, and some of you men couldn't go there because her breast is out, and that's how they lived it. You couldn't do it here.
Now, again, you mentioned Africa. As I said before, last time we spoke to you, we're like Africans. We are the Israelites. The Most High said, according to Exodus 11 and verse 7, that he made a difference between us and them. When Israel came out of Egypt, they weren't doing that. That's why the Most High instilled pants and gave women a dress code. Because prior to that, we were dressed like that. Half naked, no pants, so wearing loincloths. Prior to that. So you're right in the manner of saying that the Africans dress naked out of order, because guess what? We were the same way. So the Most High gave us a dress code. And that dress code did not include sisters wearing pants or unisex clothing. That's why earlier, back to this point, we mentioned earlier that according to scriptures, when you go outside the customs of your own people, the laws of the Bible, Israel, or follow their gods, that was a form of whoredom. Therefore, when women go and follow the dress code of the other nations, that is a form of whoredom. So when we said a whore, it wasn't saying you go out and say it behind for money. Right. It was spiritual. Because when women put on pants, it's a spiritual thing. When they put on pants, it puts on a masculine spirit. When a man puts on a dress, it puts on a feminine spirit. You see it in Jamie Foxx, you see it with Martin, you see it with RuPaul, you see it with Eddie Murphy, you see it all over your TV, and it's funny in games, but it's not funny.
Well,
it's fornication.
Now look in the fashion world now, all of a sudden, we're seeing P. Diddy,
wearing skirts. Wearing skirts.
But see the vibration. But that's still a custom that is still feminine, no matter how. A skirt, no matter how much, no matter what name you put to it, man. We have to understand that, look, there's a seducing spirit that is being put out here, and we got to stop fronting. In the last 15 years or more, we see a severe satanic dragnet that's being pushed, and it's being subtly done. It's okay to wear this. You have people wearing skeletons and skulls in their clothing, man. Don't you see the vibration that's being pushed? Look at every TV show that's being pushed. You can put up. The whole issue for females now is what? Dressing sexy. Now look at the word sexy. What does it mean? It means to elicit and evoke a sexual lust, man. In every video you see, even other nations, yeah, Akon and other white artists using black women shaking their butts, and all for the world to see. Come on, man, we gotta be realistic about this issue, okay?
All right, let me because you went from A to Z, and I want
completion,
because at times that's why we try to make our point, because we make a point. This is, and I want to just use this because I understand about us men wearing, because I come from the Judea, we have to wear, the cover. But let me ask you something, and again, you're right. I agree with you where we at with that. I can't defend that. I'm not going to defend that. But let's just talk about something real quick. Let's talk about the Ten Commandments on television. We already know who controls the television, this, that, and other. But for years, I watched the Ten Commandments. Easter, it comes on.
Oh, as a matter of fact, Patin, as you're talking, Mr. Technical Director, do me a favor. This video you're playing behind, would you please put it on? I want you to take time out. Just a second. I'm sorry to break your train of thought. I want you to see something, and then we're going to come back. Or while Patin is talking, if you could put it on this monitor, I would appreciate it for the viewing audience to see. Go ahead, Patin, please.
The point I want, again, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, okay? And I think that there comes a time where you come out of darkness into the light. Yeah. So when I make this point here, again, you don't have to agree with me. I'm just curious about this. When I watch the Ten Commandments, of course I already know they're mixing the truth with the lies and doing all that. But for years, it would come on, and I would watch you, Brennan, and the men, with the kilts on and skirt. And I never looked at them as being feminine from that point of view. Maybe I'm wrong, but I never looked at them being feminine until one day I said to my wife, wait a minute, these guys got no skirts. I said to myself, these guys got no skirts. But I said to my wife, does that take away from their masculinity? And my wife says, no, because she said, honestly, when you didn't make that point, I didn't look at it from that point of view. What is your take on that? Just your opinion.
It's very, very simple. The other nations are going to wear what they want to wear, regardless of how it looks, whether it looks masculine according to them or according to you. I'm not talking to you. The Most High gave Israel the commandments on not to wear that. They were wearing that. You see pictures of us, even in that same movie, you see Israelites black as night, all in the background, while the Israelites in the movie is Caucasians.
That's correct.
So the only time you see the black folks is the Ethiopians in the movie. So again,
and they called them the Nubians.
Yeah, the Ethiopians. So when they came out of that land, they were wearing that, and it may not have come off at that time as feminine, but the Most High said, "Listen, I don't want that. I want you to put on breeches, and I want the women to wear the dresses. They were wearing dresses in that time in Egypt." He said, "Men, I want you to take that off because you're naked under there." It was swaying. He said, "Take that off, put pants on," and that was it. The Most High said, "No more following Egypt." He said, Leviticus 18:3. Do not follow the laws of the land of Egypt.
Okay,
and the movie was before.
I'm sorry, brother. You know what? We have people who want to get on this conversation now.
It
always takes up the last minute. But Carla, you're on the air. What's on your mind? Talk to us, please. You're on the air, Carla. Let's go.
Let them know there's a delay.
Carla, you're going once. You're going twice.
We're trying to get them on.
They're gone. Okay, how about this? Now, you know what? Before you go any further, this is the problem. Jeremiah 10 verse 1. We were told by the Lord this here. Hear the word of the Lord, speak it unto you, O house of Israel. The house of Israel, when you look into the whole issue from a spiritual standpoint and from an etymological and from an anthropological standpoint, so-called Negro, West Indian, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, and Haitians. Hear the word of the Lord. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, which come from the Hebrew word, Gohorim, which means nations. That's our problem. A lot of us out here are being seduced by other people's spirits. And that's why when you look at television as a whole, look at media, MEDIA, the most evil devil in America. Every TV show now dealing with what? Vampirism, zombies, murder, killing. We got a new show now, Hannibal Lecter. What more do you need, man? What more do you need? Carla, you're now on the air. What's on your mind? Okay, while we're waiting, go.
I wanted to make a point. And we went to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. When the Lord was addressing the Israelites for the first time, he was giving them commandments to govern the planet.
Right.
Not just the Israelites. And I wanted to make the point of, although we see the rulers, the leaders today are not ordained by God. The Israelites are hidden right now and lost as a people because we disobeyed the laws. So a curse was put on us for disobeying the laws. Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. Get that real quick. Because we need to give clarity to the people because we're jumping all over the place. And
I'm sorry, but before we do that, call you on the air. Talk.
Okay, yeah, hello.
Come on.
You hear me?
Yes, go there.
Yeah, I love your show, man. I've been following you ever since you were on the other show. Don't take it to continue.
Thank you.
Probably have your own show.
Thank you.
But I've been watching the brothers over here, the Israelite brothers. I've been following for a long time. I think one of the elders named Nathan Nicon.
Yes, yes.
He's really a really positive brother. But you gotta understand, some of the sisters in this land, United States, on the state authority, they rebellious. They don't want to hear nothing. They so far into this philosophy of the so-called Edomite Esau. If you come to them with the truth, they don't want to hear nothing but the lie.
But hold on, brother. Now, we cannot just put the sisters in that, man. We also, a lot of men are out of order. So bear in mind, if the women, bear in mind, the woman is out of order because what reason? Because we the men are out of order. So
they're out of order because they pimp them on these video shows and they treat them like prostitutes, which is wrong too. But the whole thing is stemmed from the Roman and Greek philosophy. That's where America is from.
All right.
You know, but when you try to tell them the truth, they so like 40 years of brainwashing. It's hard to overcome that. And also in the Bible, 2/3 will be put to death anyway. So you can't take on the Israelites. 2/3 must be put to death.
All right then, Carl. Thank you very much for your commentary.
Study.
Please make sure, as we as the host of the show, let's make sure that we have enough time for everybody to have a proper go around.
Right.
Because I'm looking at the clock and see that it's coming
So we
around.
have 8 minutes.
And you made a point. We ain't about just bashing the woman. Okay? My focus is mostly on the men. Alright? Because the rebuilding of the nation is going to start with the men. And the black man in America is wicked and ungodly and demonic. Once the men get their mind right, then the sisters will get their mind right. Okay? Once we set the perception that they need to see us as a nation as strong black men who take care of a woman, not sleeping around with a whole bunch of women and making a whole bunch of babies and saying, you my second wife, you my third wife, you're my fourth wife, like a lot of these Israelite groups do. Okay? Beating the woman up, taking their money, not getting a job, then will be looked upon in a different light.
Can a brother have more than one wife? Is there a place in the scriptures that justify? I'm not talking about from the perspective of from a sexual point of view. Is there a place in there because we go back and we go into the Old Testament?
Yes.
We see brothers.
Yes. I can clear that up quick.
Please.
In the beginning of the Bible, yes, the Lord did allow the men to have more than one wife. But this is where it changed. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 7. I'm sorry, 11, verse 1. Read now.
1 Corinthians 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Okay, so there were ordinances delivered to the Israelites. Go to 11, verse 7 now.
Who's that speaking just now?
I'm sorry, 1 Corinthians 7, verse 1.
Now,
this is Paul. Okay, Christ took away his eyesight. Right. Okay, left him blind for a couple of days, and then commissioned him to go and speak unto the nations. All right, so he was now. You look, he wrote most of the books in the New Testament. He wrote letters. That's what you read, the letters. Now go to 1 Corinthians 7. I want to address what you said about the multiple wives thing.
Paul did meet Christ. He did meet him.
Go ahead.
All right. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof you go unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman.
Because Paul wasn't dealing with no woman. He was only focused on the Lord's work. So they were asking, should we do it also? Read on.
Because before chapter 5, there was fornication going on. That's what he's addressing.
Right.
Verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication.
So avoid many different sexual sins that you can get into when you read in Leviticus chapter 18. It goes into different forms of fornication. Because the Christian church just say it's sex before marriage. When you read Leviticus 18, it goes into many different forms of fornication. Read on.
Let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband.
So the Israelites disregard that. They say they don't believe the letters of Paul. So what you see is a pattern of them bedding many different women, having many different kids, not taking care of the kids, and they create a nation of ruined women, battered women who have to raise up kids by themselves, who are struggling on welfare. Their kids want to know where my father is. Meanwhile, they're using this Bible to push their lie. You're a liar if you're an Israelite. Israelite group pushing that you got multiple wives.
When Paul met Jesus, they didn't meet him in a vision.
Hold on for
Yes.
teams. Before we go further, we even have certain Israelite groups, man. I know a lot of brothers who push that and didn't practice it now one iota, man. Change them like they change their socks. So the bottom line is that I'm glad that need to be clear. But also bear in mind when you go back to the Old Testament, some of the men that were allowed to have more than one wife were men who committed extraordinary service to the Heavenly Father.
And they have
Let's
permission.
make that clear.
This
Call
is the
up.
last call because we got to wrap up.
Yeah. Call you on the air.
Sister, hello, sister. Do you have a Bible in your hand?
Yeah.
Can you please go to Galatians 2, verse 19 to 21?
We don't have time
Read that,
for
please.
caller. We don't have time for that. We want to make the points as quick as
Come on, that's what we show that God.
You just say it.
You
Just say
have the
it.
Bible.
Just say it. Say it. We can hear you. Say it. What is the point you're making?
Huh?
What's the point?
What is the point? Just say it.
That Jesus not only died for the Israelites, but he also died for the Gentiles.
Okay, that's another subject
That's
matter.
a totally different subject.
But read that.
But
We're not disregarding what you said.
we're to come at that
Okay.
another time. We want
Right.
to stay on point. Listen, as you can see, an hour is not enough time to really go into this. But you know
No.
what? How about this?
I want to
Dymax,
say before
make
you
your point.
finish, Colossians.
Right.
Is that how you say it? Colossians?
Colossians, yes.
Okay, chapter 3, verse 12 to 14. And it says, God has chosen you and made you his holy people. He loves you, so always do the things. Show mercy to others. Be kind, humble, gentle, patient. Get along with each other and forgive each other. If someone does you wrong, forgive that person because the Lord forgave you. Do all the things, but most important, love each other. Love is what holds you all together in perfect unity. And that is always my point, the love thing. So whether you got the pants, the skirt, whatever, if you walking in love and you got God in you, that can speak volumes. That can help heal the world and pull all of these different cultures and you're a Baptist, everybody needs to come together as one in love. Even if God say, you're not going to be the person. You're going to be the chosen people if it's 144,000.
And the credits are rolling, but may I read this here? This is 2 John 1 and 6. And this is love, that you walk after his commandments. That this is the commandment that you have heard from the beginning, you should walk in. See, bear in mind that God's love is an action, and it's not an abstract thing. It is based upon do's and don'ts, Deuteronomy 32 and 19. We urge you now in closing.
Now, let me jump in there real quick.
Hold on, close it out, man.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, brothers. One thing I disagree with you, brothers, but we'll talk after. I think that you should do more media that fits your platform.
Visit Israelunite.org and originalroyalty.com. Once again, that's www.israelunite.org and www.originalroyalty.com.
And gentlemen, I want to thank you and Dymax, who's not a whore. I want to thank you, my
Because I don't fit none of these here biblical definitions.
I want to thank you, sister, for coming in, letting your voice be heard.
Because to me, God, he made the first commandment for Lord. Right? Then he said, this ain't working. You know what? You don't got drumming. You need pants on. So he did changes. So I'm saying, how can you just say, we said, he made changes. He said, and then he did another. You know what? I gotta bring my son in. Like, he made changes. Because of you. We not gonna get. That's why I gotta do my show. I can't be bothered with this. This is right off of me. Get out of here.